Good morning, USA! And here we are in another day. Hey, welcome to Ice Age TV, the first people to hear my voice this morning. Yes, it is. It's garbage run day. It is the F-150 Lightning Day. Yes, it is. And it's a beautiful, beautiful Saturday morning. Not too cold, not too hot, but here's a question. What did the dogs destroy last night? How much did they defecate in my barns? I left everybody in the barn last night. So what are they eating? What are they destroying? Besides, as usual, everything. What did they get into? Oh, they got into the chips. That's not a big deal. They pee-peed over there. They poo-pooed back here. Oh, yeah. Boy, they had a field day last night. That's something. When they stay in the camper and are secluded in that area, they're kind of are forced not to go to the bathroom. You let them have free range in here in the barn, and it's a chit show. Oh my goodness gracious! I got to get up to the town, drop off the F-150 Lightning, and then Brian's gonna bring me back home so he can go to work today because he's excited about the plum crazy Dodge Charger, and for that reason, he's even more excited to work. So he's going to go work out of that today. So I'm going to kind of get things in order real quick. But the chit show, the poop, that's a disaster. So that's the most poop I'll be picking up yet. So that's just kind of another lesson of, in some ways, I'm better off leaving them in the camper because then they don't crap as much. Yeah, it's just interesting how radical that is. But it is what it is. So I got a cleanup duty here first. I got to get going. So let me come back to here shortly. All right. You know what's crazy? I forgot to turn off the heat. It's incredible. I mean, times I got this camper, and the heat really. I mean, there ain't many more days. This heater's gonna be running. I mean, we're supposed to really get into hot weather after this weekend. But it just drives me crazy how you can't remember a damn thing. As you get older in life, I think it becomes so much more challenging to remember things. There's just too many things going on. You've accumulated too many problems in your life. This is where, when I'm gone, this is going to be the biggest challenge for my wife, is how she manages these dogs crapping all the time and getting underneath her feet. So my concern is, my wife's she's gonna fall over because these dogs really do get under you. So what I do nowadays, I get the Clorox and I spray all these areas down. And I treat them. So I treat all these areas before I pick it up. But now I'm gonna go back and treat it again just to keep the smell out of the shop. Thank God I have a lot of rags, but boy, I'll tell you what. I used to give away all my rags to Fred, and I'm going to be out of rags at this rate of this cleanup for these dogs. So, oh well. But yeah, once again, that's my concern is this is a lot. This is a lot of responsibility. And my wife, she doesn't do this. She never does any of this when I'm doing. So when I leave town, it's going to be like, a smack in the face of, hey honey, guess what? And she's just going to be like, she'll be like, Jesus Christ, holy crap. But my wife's the one who takes the pain and doesn't cry much. To be with me, who else would deal with all the stuff she's gone through? Not many. There ain't many. For the most part, most women be gone. Most women have been gone a long time ago. And I know that. I'm no fool to that. It goes both ways. In many ways, so I gotta change out my hat because it's gonna be warm today, and having this full covered hat is now too hot. So I'll get my Cooters, my racist Cooters hat on. Yeah, the racist Cooters. Go to Cooters, you'll figure it out. All right, so these guys here, as usual, all round up. Now the question is, Howie Finag, we're getting up to town, get the trash to the dump, and everything else in between, as I forget to get my coffee as usual, and get over to the house. But I think what I'm going to do is probably I'm going to go to town with the lightning and get that taken care of. And then when Brian gets back in, I'll just go down, get rid of all the trash, and then I'm going to go up to Tractor Supply and have to spend $150 for a new collar for Gypsy, because Gypsy, it's just, she is so out of control. And she's not, you can't handle her. She literally goes off the property all the time with my wife. She's like, just cable her up. I'm like, I know, but that doesn't solve the long-term problem of that dog running off the property. So either we're going to train it to stay on the property, or we may have to decide to have Gypsy go somewhere else. Because, you know, I can't deal with it. Plus, I don't want to see her get run over. So if she can't adapt to the collar training and the fence training, then I'm thinking I'm going to say, well, who wants a German Shepherd dog? I mean, I already know people would take her. But, I mean, I prefer not to do that. But in some ways, maybe that's her destiny. Because she's just terrible. She just slows through that fence like you can't believe. All right, got to go inside here. I'll bring the dogs in because they're not gonna think they've crapped enough. Oh, you see, there she is. So she's over there right now. If I don't get her in the house and I go inside and if she sees somebody walking up the street there and I don't know that, she's gone. She's gone just like that. Come on, let's go. Come on. Come on, Gypsy. Come on, baby. Come on in, everybody. Come on. Let's go. We'll tell you going inside, get the wife all riled up. How about that? All righty. All righty. Now, time to jump in the truck. Got the dogs in the house with the wife. Told her, just let them stay on the back deck. Yeah, and I told her, I said, you're down to maybe 10 or 11 days before you're going to be the full-time kennel master. And she really has never done any of this with the new dogs. I mean, that's no lie. It's always been me and Julia taking care of dogs. So, I don't know. Some part of me says maybe Julia comes back home. I don't know what her plans are. If she was going to go, I'd be like, you should probably come home and take care of dogs, help mom. So that would answer that. So that may be the answer, probably the better answer, for Julia to come back and spend about a week up here taking care of things. And that's probably what's going to happen. Somebody like, oh, she has to go to the celebration of life. Well, you know what? That's Julia's decision. I don't know if she wants to do that or not. And really, in some ways, it'd be better to leave her here and take my wife. We may have that conversation. That may be the better way to go. Yeah, that's actually a conversation about Julie and my wife. Here we go. So we got the Lightning truck. You know, when I start up the Ram truck, the Charger, you get this big, brum, right? Here you go. Here's the big excitement. This truck's on the repo list, believe it or not. I just made a payment on it to save it from not being repoed. Yeah, it's just not a pretty picture, but it's just too much debt. I mean, the bottom line is, it's just too much debt. And, so I'd be like, how embarrassing. Yes, social media, for the record, social media is embarrassing. In all reality. What people do. Yes, okay. Yes. So, this truck here, I was 3 payments behind. Once you're 3 payments behind, they then want to come get your truck or car. But I just made a payment, so now I'm 2 payments behind. See, the problem is, with all these damn debts, like the personal property tax, now it turns into who gets money, who doesn't. And it just goes down the list. That's the problem, man. And that's why I say every day, pray for a miracle. Yeah, pray for a miracle. Because I need a huge miracle, everybody. And there ain't no family help. I mean, it's incredible how much money I have shoveled out of my life to the whole family, the families. And when it comes to me putting my hand out for something, it's like, what? Are you kidding me? Why would I do that? You're not trustworthy of your money. But yet I spent so much money on you. On you. Yeah. I mean, it gets deep and heavy, everybody. I'm the guy that's been way too nice in life that just pays for everything for everybody else. And then when I get myself in a shambles, everybody they turn around and walk away. Yeah. So I haven't learned. I just never learned my lesson that, it's like, just tell everybody else, too bad. put a thumb in your mouth and suck your thumb. Here's the deer. Time the DOT gets here, it'll be just a skeleton. And here's the vultures. I've ridden my bike many times where you go around a corner and those things about to hit you in the head. Yeah, so anyways, so shit show. Like I say, I have actually asked, I've had conversations like, if I just got a bump of some cash, I could kind of get through all this. But you know what the answer is? Nope, and nope. And it's like, it's beyond believable. Unbelievable. You know as well as I do, if I had a terminal cancer right now, if I had some major cancer, if I was in some major accident, and I was on death's bed, the people that would reach out to probably donate monies to bury me or save me would be through the roof probably, or maybe not. But then, when you get yourself in financial havoc, it's like, well, are you kidding me? Screw you. Screw you, buddy. I ain't giving you shit. And so I've had hard conversations on this. Because there's money. You realize or not, there's money. In my family, there's a lot of money. But the problem is, it won't be released. It won't be released. So it's like, but why? I just had to get through this bump. I just think, but no, I gotta protect the assets. No, I gotta protect the blah 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 blah. Yeah. It's just, like I say, this could get really deep and heavy, and some select people that listen to my channel, it would create probably some emotional anger of me bringing all this stuff up. But at the same time, the point is, I've carried the load, everybody. People don't believe that stuff. I've carried the load. And now that I'm going through hardships to continue to carry the load, it turns into, just let the ship sink, man. But we can fix it. We can fix it. Yeah, right. Whatever. Anyways, here we go. And the thing is a lot of fun. For those that don't like them, they are a lot of fun. And now it's just total confusion, like never seen, because everybody was being taught, brainwashed to buy an electric vehicle. Now everybody's being taught, why would you buy an electric vehicle? And the thing is, I think the number one turnoff these electric vehicles is, I know the range anxiety and that, but I think really the smart economic individual, the person that really knows how to manage their money, they're going to say, but if I buy this electric vehicle, it'll be worth half or less. And you're right. You go buy that $100,000 vehicle, it's going to be worth half or less. Now, keep in mind, if you can lease one like a Tesla seems to do pretty good for the most part. So if you lease one, yeah, but a lot of people be like, yeah, but when you lease it, you start all over again. That's not wise money. You're an idiot to lease a car. Because you're gonna have to buy a car at the end of the game. Whatever. There's a lot of variables to that. You own a business. If you rent it back to your business, blah 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 blah. If you're individual, does it give you your cash flow? Then eventually you'll have the cash flow to buy it outright. I don't know. That goes many different directions. Depends on how your finances are in life are. So there that is, right? So me, I like this truck, and that's what I'm saying. I just made a big payment. All these things are house payments, man. You don't own $100,000 vehicles that are $500 a month car payments. If you look at, everybody's really starting to reach out more than ever in some ways. Like, well, how much is all this damn stuff? It's a bloody fortune. That's what it is. It's a bloody fortune. Yeah. So you think it through. If you go buy a $70,000 car and you put $20,000 down, and you've got a balance of $50,000 at a no interest loan, I think you're at $16 per thousand. I think something like that. But just for a rough number, you would just take $20, and that's $1,000 a month. And even if it was $800 a month, if you factor in where I live, personal property tax and insurance, you're gonna have basically a $1,500 a month payment. Yeah. So Hottie, and that's why I talk all the time on how the car industry's gotten so bad, where it has made stuff so expensive If you buy a $100,000 truck and you put down $50,000, you're still going to be a $1,500 a month obligation at the end of the day. And if you're like, no, you won't. Yes, you will. You will if you manage your money. What are you going to do? You can take an 84-month loan out. You can take a 5-year payment out or a 6-year payment. And then you factor in personal property tax. $100,000 vehicle, personal property tax around here, that's going to be a $300 a month payment for personal property tax. And then insurance on that car is going to be probably about $1,200 to $1,400 a year, depending what, level car it is. Okay, so that's another $100 a month. There's $400 a month. If you factor in you got to buy fuel for it, you're at $1,500 a month without you modding or doing anything else. So yeah, so all this stuff is huge. The motor, so right, the industry now. Trump just announced 50% tariffs on all imported steel because the Nippon deal apparently has gone down, which I think that's a lot of people are against it, but I mean, the Japanese are claiming they're going to invest a lot of money here, and they're going to guarantee the union steel workers are going to have jobs. I mean, there's nothing guaranteed anymore, so it sounds like that deal played out, and now Trump's going to make sure it does work out because he's going to penalize huge tariffs on other countries bringing steel into our country to just shut that down. But the thing is, everybody, I talk about all the time, you and I are going to pay more money for everything else. So, I mean, I'm glad Donald Trump wants to get this country favoritism and bring back manufacturing and bring back jobs. But at the end of the day, you and I are going to pay a lot of money for a lot of stuff. Everything's going to be more money. Everything. Oh my goodness! And I got the truck. I don't know who the hell. They're not even doing the speed limit. This is what just drives you nuts. It's like, dude, what are you doing, dude? You're driving a delivery truck. Are you like picking your ass right now? Probably. Hey, the love of driving down the road in a car, right? Or that's all going to change in front of our eyes. Yeah. The future is going to be so interesting. In all reality, it's kind of a shame that I'm going to be too old, but you go 25, 30 years from now, the robots, the autonomous cars, the drones, the air flight, everything, it's going to be unbelievable of how people are going to be getting around, how things are going to be getting done. And it's just going to be, and then if you don't make your payments on your autonomous vehicle, they just tell it to come to the bank or back to wherever they got it. Man, this guy's so bad. Please go straight, dude. You partied your ass off way too much last night, dude, because you are tired. I know these stories. I used to drive big trucks, and I knew if I stayed out all night partying, the next day I was dragging, and I knew that driving that big rig, I wasn't the sharpest at the time in the morning. Yeah, I mean, that stuff goes on. Yeah, that guy's just unbelievable. Whatever. So I'm getting up here to Jerry's Ford, drop his truck off. I cleaned everything out. The irony, I cleaned this whole truck out, even with the thought, do I keep it? That's something I didn't tell everybody. When I stripped this truck clean, I was like, do I let her go? Do I let her go? And all I'm doing is buying myself another day, another month. That's all I'm doing. So I'll reevaluate again in a month from now. Does this thing make any sense to keep it? It'll be a huge deficiency with Ford. This will be repossessed. It'll be a $40,000 auction vehicle. I probably still owe on it $80,000, $90,000. And that's what goes on too. At some point you just think, is it even worth trying to pay for stuff anymore? Just let it go. Just let it go. And then just fight it out with the banks and the courts down the road. And meanwhile, it frees up cash flow for me to have money to settle debts with these other bad decisions. You don't think I hear that more than once in my life? You don't think that I have a spouse that mouths off about, yeah, I told you this would happen. Yeah, I told you this would happen. I'm like, okay, that's great. So how do we get through it? I love that people, well, I told you this would happen. Well, I told you this. Okay, great. How do you get through it? Hey, you willing to help out? You willing to set up a Iceman fund to give the guy some money to get him through his hardships for all the video content he gave you for the last 5.5 years? Hey, if everybody donated $100 each, would that maybe raise me $100,000 to kind of help me get through all this crap? Why would I do that? You know, that's foolish money. Foolish. I'm not going to help you support that. Okay. And here's a guy's little Honda. It's got a little pipe on it. It sounds like a lawnmower, but we want that, everybody. Mine sounds like a vacuum cleaner. How could I be making fun of him, right? Yeah, and then I gotta go, and then so apparently there's a training collar somewhere in the house between the wife and daughter. They have no idea where it is. So guess what I get to do? I get to spend $150 today to buy a freaking training collar for the dog. And because I've asked my wife numerous times, to where is it? She goes, no, Julia has it. And I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah, she has it. So then Julia goes, no, Mom has it. So then I'm asking, then Julia's like, no, it's down in the bottom cabinet. Blah, 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 blah. And the wife doesn't like it. Really, the real thing is, from Julia's perspective, is the wife doesn't like using those things. I'm like, okay, whatever. Yeah, so let me just go spend another $150 out of my checking account to go buy another one. Whatever. Hey, it's a great Saturday morning, isn't it, everybody? Yeah, when you're in the Chit Show, you get to hear the Chit Show conversations. But I think that's what keeps people entertained to my channel. I mean, what else are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about politics, which Gail yesterday in the live conversations was like, boring. It's like, okay, well, what do you want to talk about? I mean, yesterday, I was like, hey, what are we going to talk about? What do you want to talk about? Let's just talk as friends over coffee. What's going on? How's the weather? Yeah. How's the family? Yeah. How's the job? Yeah. As we get up, Jerry's Ford. I mean, I don't care for this there's an electric vehicle. That's another thing I sting myself. The electric vehicle, Ford F-150 Lightning, black truck and this white truck now, I've had more problems with these electric vehicles than I've ever in my whole lifetime had with other cars. Isn't that incredible? So electric vehicle, they say there's less moving parts, right? Isn't that the whole pitch? So the whole point is, it's incredible how two F-150 Lightning trucks now that I've owned for long term, I've actually owned them for a few years and put miles on them, they have major problems, which is incredible. Where you'd be thinking, no, the gas vehicle, no, it's electronics. And that's another thing that I think turns off people about these electric vehicles is just that, all the electronics. So here we are, and they made this road where you can no longer get into this dealership. You have to drive all the way around the back side of it to get into it. And Brian should be here. I told him he'd be here about 8:45. And people are already at the Toyota dealership begging to buy a car. Because Toyota has limited production on their cars. So you have to beg to buy a car from them. Toyota's smart. They've made it more, it's not oversupply. It's short supply. And, Toyota's Supra. I think this is the last year for Supra, once again. There's where I met Bob Fern, right there. Southern Electric. He had a black Corvette sitting out in front of that location there. Bob worked inside. He was a counter salesman and the guy that got all the guys set up to go out and work out in the field. And a good friend of mine, Dave Butts, and I saw a black Corvette when he's selling dry washing guard. It was like April of like 93 or something like that, I think, or maybe it was in the summer of 92, and we walked in, and that's where I met Bob Fern, and we brought him out and showed him that car wash. The first thing we said is, hey, I said, I bet you that black Corvette out front is yours. And he's like, how'd you know? I said, I think the way you look and your personality tells me you own that Corvette. He's like, it is. And he's like, well, why? I said, well, I want to show you something. He's like, well, what do you want to show me? I said, I want to show you how to clean your car with no water. He's like, what? So we walked outside and we sprayed the product on his Corvette, and he didn't freak out, and it polished it all up. And he's like, wow, I really like that stuff. So then over time, he was like, how do I sell this stuff? And so then I made him a distributor, and then he was out and about trying to sell some of it. Then he used to come to my meetings, and then we kind of developed a relationship over that. That's how I got to know him. So here we are. And is that a dark horse? No. So I'm going to pull this thing in and get it checked in. I'll just pull right here. See, I think this used to go the other direction. I don't know. Maybe or maybe not. But here I am. All right. Well, the good news is I empty this thing out. There's nothing in here that I need. And that's a good thing. So we get in here and drop it off.